Hello beautiful people, my name is Matt, also known as the Humble Bear, and I'm talking all things mindfulness, mental health, spiritual well-being, any knowledge, any wisdom, anything coming up in my life that has helped me on my journey, sharing it with you to help you on your journey. And today's topic is one of my favorite, things that changed my life, like literally completely changed my life. And that is the topic of presence. Presence. What is presence? So presence is the now. It's whatever is happening right in front of you, being in contact with what is happening, being in coherence with what is happening right in front of you, right now, in this moment. Okay, and you're thinking, yeah, of course, I'm always interacting with what's going on here. It's not true. It's not true. Most of us are in here. And when we're in here, we're in the future, we're in the past. You know, the mind doesn't exist in the present moment because there's nothing to do. You know, there's nothing to solve. There is no problem, okay? There is no analysis to be done as such. There's no prediction. There's no looking back at the past. It just is. Everything is just as it is, okay? But the mind likes to try to get involved, try to go back into the past. Oh, well, if this had happened or this did happen and wasn't this so bad and wasn't that person, I can't believe they did that and blah, 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 blah. It's like, it's in the past. It's happened. It happened how it happened, okay? It's not good. It's not bad. It just is how it was, okay? We can learn lessons from it, of course. Of course you can learn lessons from the past. Like, great. If you can look at the past and go, oh, actually, I could do this better. Fantastic. But when we get involved in the story, in the personal story, and we're like, oh, yeah, well, that was, oh my God, this happened to me, and now this has defined me. It's like, no, let go of that. It's not happening now. You might as well be happening now because you're still living it. But trust me, it's not. And the future, it's not happened yet. We have no idea how that's going to happen. There are billions and billions of variables in this universe. No matter how hard we try, we cannot accurately predict the future every single time. Yes, okay, you might be psychic and you can tap into certain elements of it, but there are always variables, there's always options, there's always things that will come up, and it will never be exactly as we thought it was. That's where the mind exists, when we're present, when we're in the now, when we're focused on what is going in front of us, what is going on exactly in this moment. There is only peace, joy, abundance. I used to constantly be in the past. I used to constantly be in my head. I was constantly thinking about what other people thought of me. If I'd done this, I did do that, and that means these people think this, and etc., etc., etc. And if only I'd been this way, or if only I'd done this, and then they wouldn't, then the world would be different. Or I'm in the future, right? Trying to play around with the world and all the little things in order for it to be a specific way. My mind's come up with these various different outcomes or scenarios, and I'm trying my best to avoid them. So I'm like, well, if I do this, then this person will do this, and then that will happen, and that will happen, and it never happens that way, But when I learned how to be present, when I studied this, and I studied this for a whole year, solid, of being present, being in the moment, transcend all of that stuff. You transcend that personal mind. I'm not talking about the creative mind, the really powerful, intuitive mind. I'm talking about the personal mind that's like always taking offense or trying to pick things and has all that negativity around it. But when I'm in the present, I'm just way over above that, and that's when life comes to you. Trust me, that's when life comes to you. Like I said, I spent a whole year practicing this. An amazing book to read on this topic is Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. Now, he literally is a whole book about practicing presence, about the present moment. Because the present moment is all that actually exists. There is nothing outside of the present moment. When the past happened, which, by the way, didn't happen how you remember it happening, because what you remember happening was filtered through your perception. It's very different. Like, two people can describe the same situation completely differently because they're coming through their own lenses, their own perception. So what happened was somewhere in between all of those perceptions, in reality. That when it was the past, when that did happen, it was now. It was that moment. The future, which, as I said before, you will never accurately predict all the way through. But the future, when that happens, that will be this moment as well. So don't lose this moment. This moment is so precious. This moment in front of you is the most precious thing that has ever existed, because it's the only thing that ever existed. There's no problem. There might be a situation you need to deal with, but when you're present, when you're centered, you'll know what to do. You'll know exactly what to do. Trust me, the solution will just land in your lap, and you'll just be like, oh yeah, I know exactly how I'm supposed to interact with this. That's where the peace comes. That's where the joy comes. Like I said, I practiced a whole year of presence. I had an alarm on my phone. I went on an app called Insight Timer. On there, you can go to the timer. You can set intervals. I used to set an interval for 15 minutes and tell it to go off infinite a number of times. So a gong would go off on my phone every 15 minutes. It's an amazing trick. If anyone's interested in practicing presence, it's an amazing, phenomenal way of being present all the time. And when the gong goes off, I check, where am I? Am I in the mind? Okay. If I'm in the mind, I'm weighing my thoughts somewhere. Why? What is it I'm thinking about? What is this so important that means I'm missing what's going on in front of me? Do I want to be there? The answer most of the time is no. And then it's like, I focus on my body. I'm like, how's my body? Am I tense? Most of the time I was like this. So tense because the world was out to get me. It's like, so every 15 minutes, just relax. Focus on the breath, focus on something real, be in the moment. Every 15 minutes. And over time, as I progressed over time, every time when I started to check in, it'd be like, actually no, I'm in the present moment. I knew the gong was going to go off. I was relaxed. My shoulders weren't up by my ears, and after a year, my whole life opened up. I found that inner purpose of just being. And over time, as I progressed over time, every time when I started to check in, it'd be like, actually no, I'm in the present moment. I knew the gong was going to go off. I was relaxed. My shoulders weren't up by my ears, and after a year, my whole life opened up. I found that inner purpose of just being, that inner purpose of being me, being the witness, being the being that gets to experience this adventure that we call life, that gets to be here now, that gets to engage with everything going on in the moment. I wasn't in my head. Someone called me up and said, hi, would you like to start a coaching company? It's like, wow, that's cool. Yeah, let's do it. I got introduced to my really, really good friend, Liam Brown. He introduced me to cacao, started serving cacao. Got introduced to yoga, got introduced to all these things. And it was all through practicing presence. Because the other thing with practicing presence is you get to experience the synchronicities. And we'll cover this in another video. That you get to witness it. You get to be there when the synchronicity happens. You get to notice. You get to notice the double numbers on the clock, the feather, You get to notice the song on the radio that triggers a joyful part of you, or tells you something you need to know, an answer to something you need to know. It's so, so powerful. But it all happens in the present moment. There's nothing that doesn't happen in the present moment. So I hope this has helped someone. If anyone is interested in any coaching around how to be present, if anyone is interested in any healing to heal you, to remove the parts of you that stop you from being present, then please get in contact. Anyone who wants just to chat, please get in contact. You can find me at www.humblebear.co.uk or on Instagram at @the_humble_bear, or on YouTube at Humble Bear. You can find me at any of those places. Please get in contact. I would love to hear from you. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you soon.